Good evening. This is CTV News. I'm Gina Barty.
And I'm Byron Scott. Thank you for joining us. Well, criminal justice advocates are calling for more transparency from the state's attorney's office. The group's Color of Change in Life After Release held a press conference in Upper Marlboro this morning. They claim the public has not been informed about how the office is implementing its no cash bail policy. Organizers say they are launching a court watch campaign to monitor bail hearings daily.
We have not seen any youth diversion or diversion for adults. What we have seen actually is unsettling, and it is a cause for concern. Brave Boy's offices, her frontline prosecutors, are not in alignment with what her announcements has been to the public. Her principles and her values are not in alignment with her prosecutors on the front line.
Meantime, the state's attorney office says claims are simply untrue if the number of people being held without bond, they say, is on the decline.
Several Metro bus routes in Prince George's are on the chopping block, and commuters in District 3 could feel the impact. That's why Councilmember Danielle Galeros is encouraging residents to attend an upcoming Metro budget hearing. WMATA's fiscal year 2021 budget is also calling for possible fare hikes.
In the Transportation, Infrastructure, Energy, Environment Committee, we learned that there would be some service cuts across Prince George's County, and there's a handful of lines. There's the Crofton-New Carrollton line, Greenbelt to BWI, Pointer Ridge, Ardwick Industrial Park, Clinton line, Pointer Ridge, and Bach Road line. Maybe there's a few others I don't have listed here, but we do understand that those are proposed for elimination. In addition to that, there is some proposed fare changes that could impact residents. It all depends on how frequently you ride Metro.
At least 7 Metro bus routes could be eliminated in the county. The hearing will take place at the Metro Points Hotel in New Carrollton on Tuesday, February 25th. For more information on potential fare increase, visit wmata.com/budget. Meantime, hearings are being held in Annapolis that would pave the way for public school students to access medical cannabis. The bills would allow a parent or legal guardian of a medical marijuana patient to designate an adult to be caregiver for the student. The measure, which would cover students under the age of 18, would increase the number of caregivers a patient may be assigned. The bill also calls for guidelines for public schools regarding the administration of medical cannabis to students.
The members of the United Food and Commercial Workers Local 400 are planning a rally tomorrow in D.C. that could impact many grocery store shoppers in the region. Unionized workers with Safeway and Giant say they are frustrated by contract negotiations, and that's why they are holding that rally. Here to talk more about it is Jonathan Williams of Local 400.
Thank you so much for joining us, Jonathan. Now, your negotiations have been going on for quite some time now, for about 5 months. Why have they been going on, and what is the frustration there?
Well, we are negotiating a new union contract to cover all store workers at Safeway and Giant grocery stores in the greater Baltimore, Washington region. And negotiations haven't been going very well, suffice to say. It's been 6 months of talks, and we aren't making much progress. And we have a lot of issues on the table that we're very concerned about for our members.
I know there's a rally plan for tomorrow, and I'm reading some of the articles. I saw the S word, strike. That's right. I mean, how close is that to happening?
Well, that just shows you how serious this is right now. And you know, I'm pleased to say that with Giant, in their case, we've made some progress over the past few days. We worked through the weekend and all day today. But we still don't have a deal. Safeway is another story. We are no closer to a deal with them. Our meetings with them are fewer and farther between. And so tomorrow we plan to announce the date for a strike vote. And if workers vote to strike at these stores, some 25,000 people at hundreds of stores in the region could be on strike.
Wow. What are some of the issues that are the stumbling blocks?
Well, these companies are proposing to freeze new hires in D.C. and Maryland at minimum wage. So anyone hired at these stores for the next few years would never have the opportunity for a raise beyond the minimum wage. We're also they're proposing cuts to our health care funding that pays for all the health care benefits that these workers rely on, while at the same time making workers pay more out of pocket to get the same exact health care coverage. That's completely unacceptable. And on top of that, they are proposing to cut pension funding. And so what this means is our pension, like many pensions around the country, suffered from the financial crisis in 2008. We have a guarantee to ensure that everyone who relies on that pension, there's 50,000 people who rely on that pension, will continue to receive their benefits. And while Giant has lived up to its obligations, Safeway has denied the existence of this guarantee altogether. And so they're putting thousands of people at risk of losing their pension.
So why is resolving this issue so important for consumers? Because they may look and say, well, I don't work at Shoppers, I don't work at Giant, I can go someplace else. Why should they care about this?
Sure. Well, let's look at Safeway. I mean, you walk into any Safeway nowadays, and you're going to experience longer lines, emptier shelves, poorer customer service. Why is that? It's not because our members who work at these stores aren't working hard. It's because of the Wall Street investors who control Safeway right now, and they're Cerberus, it's a private equity firm. They're pinching pennies on the backs of these workers. They're putting fewer people in the stores for fewer hours at a time. It's harder and harder to make a living working at Safeway. And the customer service is suffering because of that. And so, you know, what we've experienced over the past several months of working on this is that the customers are overwhelmingly in support of our members and the workers at these stores. And they understand that they get the best customer service in the business from these companies, and they expect to continue to get that. And how do you get that? By treating these workers with respect and the dignity that they deserve. And that's all we're asking for.
Most definitely. I know me and you were talking earlier. How has the impact of online grocery shopping and these prepared meal online competing with the brick and mortar have affected, you know, brick and mortar stores?
Well, that's a old story, right? The online shopping, the Amazon effect on brick and mortar stores. But what we're actually seeing is that Safeway and Giant and many other brick and mortar operators offer online shopping, and it's been good for business. The problem is not necessarily how people shop. The problem is the owners of these companies and how they treat the employees who service these customers. And in the case of Safeway, again, they have Wall Street investors, not grocery corporate executives, not people familiar with the grocery business. These are Wall Street investors running this company. And we're worried they're running it to the ground. And so it's time to take a stand and do something about it.
You have a number of Shoppers stores that are closing, and also there are some non-unionized shops opening up, grocery stores. Does that make it more difficult for your members to do what they want to do, need to do?
It certainly doesn't help, you know, having more non-union operators. But truthfully, Giant and Safeway are the top two grocery chains in the region by far. They are out competing anyone else, and we believe that is because they have the best customer service in the business, and that's our union members doing that. And they have some of the best contracts in the business as well. And we want to maintain that. We want to stay on top and be the best customer service we can provide.
Great. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
And that rally again held tomorrow safely on 4th Street Southeast at 11 o'clock.